So folks, we have a pretty interesting video today on this product from MEKOH. It is a pressure washer hose reel, and MEKOH contacted me and asked me if I was interested in receiving this product and doing a video on it, and I said sure, I'd be happy to take a look at it. Seems like a pretty interesting product. Myself, I do a lot of kind of remote pressure washing off of the back of a Can-Am Defender, which is, essentially like a mini pickup truck. And I thought this would be a great way to kind of simplify carrying around the pressure washer, and also too with the hose and all that sort of stuff. And I think with this, what it's going to enable me to do is pretty much put this in the back of the Can-Am and also leave the pressure washer in the Can-Am in the back there and run it off that way. That way I don't have to unload everything out of the Can-Am every time I want to pressure wash remotely. So anyways, folks, let's take a closer look at this and just kind of our initial first impressions. The thing is, whenever I received this, I was surprised. It's pretty sturdy. I would say this is intended for professional use, obviously, folks at home or whatever, or, they're just maybe living on a rural property or whatever, or they just want to organize their hose reel. This here, it seems pretty sturdy. The metal and everything on it, it's not like, waffly metal or anything like that. It's definitely got a little bit of heft to it and a little bit of weight to it as well, which is a good thing considering what it is, being a hose reel and all that. So the other thing here that it has, which is nice, is it has a little stop here. So there's different holes in it where you can go ahead and lock it into place, and that way it won't roll any further. And then to undo it, you just basically do that, rotate it 90 degrees, and you can spin it again and all that. Also with it too, comes with this pack with different tools and stuff like that, instructions. So I'm going to go ahead and go through that. I'll put anything in the video that I find relevant or interesting that folks might need to know if they purchase this. The other thing too is down here on it, let's see if we can get kind of a view on it. It's a little bit difficult, but down in here, there's also places here where it looks like you can mount it to something. So that is something that's definitely an option too that you can do if you wanted to mount it to something. If you needed to mount it to something, it looks like there's probably some hardware to do that. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to end up mounting it or not, but we've got the option to do it. I see a lot of different options for mounting. You could, off the back of a pickup truck, some sort of steel frame or something like that, perhaps. Also, too, even like a wooden dolly or something like that. I could see that as being feasible if you wanted to roll it around or whatever. So let's get all the hardware out and get started. So we went ahead and kind of unwrapped everything. One thing it takes note of is don't use this with anything higher than 4,500 PSI. My pressure washer is 2,900, so we are good to go. And then also too, they make note here of a full lifetime warranty. We've got our crank here, and then we also have a few other pieces here to install. And we also have our Teflon tape, and then they give you some substantial bolts to mount this also. Another thing I took note of while reading the instructions is they do have an adjustable brake here as well. So once you kind of get everything installed, you can adjust the brake. That'll help kind of control the speed of this whenever you go to roll the hose off the reel. Folks, so we went ahead and got all of our hardware installed, and not really too much in the way of issues. One thing I noticed is this is as far as I could thread it on here, and it definitely is that handle. It ain't going nowhere. So, but that's as far as it goes, in case you run into the same thing. Up here with the brass piece, it just threads right in with some Teflon tape there. And I just used a wrench to go ahead and finish tightening it down all the way. You don't need to kind of, put too much force on it. Pretty much once I started getting significant resistance there, I stopped. So we should be good to go on that. And then also too on our swivel, One of the things I noticed here was, again, it threaded about halfway on, and we were pretty much at the end. So this swivels freely right here, and then we can go ahead and put all of our, get our hose going here. So that'll be next up. And then also too, we're going to run a short hose off of this one right here to the pressure washer. All right, folks, so let's take a look at the setup I got going on here with the hose reel. And the big benefit with this is I can pretty much keep everything contained within the Can-Am here. And especially if I have to go get another tank of water back there, it's very easy for me just to wheel the line back in and go and get water. I don't have to take all this stuff out of the Can-Am. I can basically move anywhere around the property and, you know, immediately get the pressure washing right away without, you know, constantly unloading this stuff and all that. So it works pretty good. So when I'm done, I can just reel it up like a hose. So the setup we're running here, we got the hose reel, we're connected with the pressure washer, and then we have a hose running to the Wayne pump. So there's a little Wayne pump there right in front of the water bottles. That's a 1/2 horsepower electrical pump that runs off the generator. That basically sucks the water out of the 30-gallon tank there and provides consistent pressure to the pressure washer. Now, if you have like a gravity drop or something like that, where water can run down to the pressure washer, that can work, but I find just using that electric pump just does a phenomenal job of providing water to the pressure washer and gets it done. So yeah, so the cool thing is with this hose reel is, and you'll see in just a sec, I can reel it out all the way to here, the end of 50 feet, and then basically reel it back in when I'm done. This is the picnic area we're going to be cleaning up with the surface cleaner. See, the surface here has about a year or so of dirt on it. And we're just going to start kind of getting this all cleaned up, getting the brush all cleaned up around it and weed eated, and getting the whole concrete surface here all cleaned up. So we're going to be using a surface cleaner for that, also from MEKOH. They sent that to me, appreciate that. We'll be doing a separate review on that. But you can see just with 50 feet of line, I've got more than enough line with that vehicle backed in there, you know, to basically get done whatever I need to get done. So like I said, you can always add more line. I think the max it holds is 350 feet, so that's a fair distance. The other thing, folks, if you're doing this professionally, you could always bolt this down to a vehicle. The other thing in my case, I could always close this this back hatch as well if I needed to. But for me, just being an amateur hour, you know, pressure washer dude, just doing my own stuff, you know, as it is right there, I don't feel the need to bolt it down, but definitely you can do it, and they got the hardware to do it. So wow, that's going really good. So let's go ahead and wrap up this review on this MEKOH pressure washer hose reel. So very convenient. First off, thanks to MEKOH for sending this to me. It's been cool to be able to use it and try it out. It's ended up working out real well. A couple different options I could see with this. If you didn't want to mount it on the back of a vehicle, I could very easily see getting like a wooden dolly and you know, either putting it down low or building it up with some wood yourself and making a stand for it that you could roll around at your whim. So that is a possibility with this. Also, I think the quality on it is pretty good. I mean, everything on it is pretty stout. I had someone else take a look at it, and they thought the quality on it was pretty good. They were like, wow, that's really nice. So quality on it is pretty good. Now, I did run into one issue, which was kind of my fault. Was with the Teflon tape, I only did one loop around it, and I talked to someone who knows a lot more about this stuff than I do, and they said try this stuff called, I had like a little leak here and a little leak here. They said try this stuff called Blue Monster PTFE tape, and when you do it, do 3 or 4 wraps around it, and then go ahead and screw that on. and that should fix your problem. And it sure did. I didn't have any after I did that and did the couple wraps around with that Blue Monster tape and screwed everything back in. 0 leaks whatsoever. Everything ended up working out great. So anyways, super happy with it, folks. Definitely check this out if you need something along these lines. It ended up working out pretty good for me, and yeah, it just gets the job done and works real well. So I think one thing I will add in the future is possibly I will go ahead and get another 50-foot length of hose and go ahead and add that in, so that way I have that additional length if I want it. Right now 50 feet is sufficient, but I might end up doing that. But yeah, everything is good, quality, it works. So what can you say? Also too, they mentioned they have a full lifetime warranty as well, and they also have email addresses for after sale service and all that. So that's pretty cool too. So anyways, folks, definitely check this out and give this a go.